Hey YouTube, Shuken Shobi here with a review of the Tokumei Sentai Go Busters Buster Gear Series 07 Transpod Beet Stag version. So this is the transpod that Beet Buster and Stag Buster use to transport their goods, done in a silver and gold motif to match them. And it looks really cool. It's done up in the silver that Bandai is pretty much famous for in figure arts and their toys and stuff. Looks absolutely gorgeous. The gold is chromy and prone to scratching like mine already has, but that's what happens when your nephew gets a hold of it. But anyway, really, really cool. I like the look of it. I think it's a lot cooler looking in terms of base appearance than the black one, just because it has more prominence, I think. I think it looks really neat. So this does have most of the same features as the original one. So when you turn it on, it does come with the holster, which I'll just take off for the remainder of this review, and that really tiny back strap that makes you look like a Go Buster, except it's too small to fit like any American ever. So keep that in mind. This is pretty pointless. I guess you can use it to customize something or whatnot. So yeah, the switch is right here. So turn that on. It is a little bit louder, I think, than the original one. Might be crazy, might not be. I don't know. But yeah, so you start with the robot. So we're going to go ahead and pull this off of the screen. You just press down this button to activate the sound that is actually picking up my voice from all the way over here. But just for testing's sake. Hey YouTube, Shuken Shinobi here with a review of the Tokumei Sentai. That's as far as I'm going to go. So that is the female voice. Press that down, now we have the male voice. So now I sound like Dr. Claw from, what's it called? Inspector Gadget, there we go. And then lastly we have the robot voice. Stop all the downloading! And such. So you have the same exact ones from the original Transpod, but there are some new animal noises and various weird noises that make no sense. So the first one is a cicada. Very, very famous noise that those things make, so see if you can pick it up. Most of the cicadas in my area don't make that rapid of noises, but if you want to hear it again, you just press the button down. And now we have fireworks, because that makes sense. Next up we have mosquitos. Very familiar with the sound of those. Very obnoxious. Next up we have construction. Not sure why the Transpod is replicating construction, but okay. Lastly, we have, I believe it's a cricket. I couldn't particularly tell because I couldn't find my instructions where I put them. And the box just tells me that it makes a lean, lean, lean sound. So I'm not entirely sure, but it looked like a cricket to me. That doesn't sound like the crickets in my area, but maybe the Japanese crickets like to chirp different. Sounds nifty, whatever it is. I'm pretty sure it's the cricket. It might not be. I'll probably correct myself down here at some point in this review. So lastly, we have probably the oddest thing that could possibly be in this thing. Wait for it. And it doesn't finish it. But yeah, that the New Year's song that everyone sings at New Year's, and they're all like, let old stuff, I don't know the lyrics, but yeah, so that is in here. I mean, Japan is very New Year's centric. New Year's is a very big deal over there, so I guess it makes sense to why it would be some included in this, but it just seems really weird that the Transpod would play that song, but it's still neat. It just doesn't seem as, I guess it's kind of out of left field as the ghost sound that's in the Transpod, the original one. So I'll let it go. But yeah, there's 3 bugs and 3 random things that I'm not sure why they're there exactly. I guess fireworks because the Stag Jet has missiles. And the construction because the Beetle Crane is a crane. And the New Year because Sentai premieres usually around February. I don't know. I'm just pulling stuff out of my butt now. But anyway, really cool toy. You can get it super cheap. I mean, I think CS Toys has it for 30% off, maybe more, maybe 50 even. I don't remember. Amiyame frequently has this in stock. HLJ has it in stock. You can probably get it cheap on eBay. Mandarake pops up for like 1,500 yen or something like that. So super, super cheap. Which is good because that's probably all it's worth. But like I said, I do like the look. I like the silver. And one thing is for sure is that the transport function is overall better than the original one. So let's just play it normally as it is.
Transport.
Now, one thing that I thought was cool or was nitpicky about the original is that it took so long for the transport to activate from the transpod. I'm glad to report that that's been somewhat fixed. It still kind of takes a long time, but it's not nearly as long. So let's go ahead and play both of them at the same time so you can check that out. So they last about the same time, but this one started quite a bit earlier. Maybe they don't end at the same time and one's just overpowering the other. I'm not entirely sure. But this one does start probably about a good second or two faster than this one. Which I think is pretty cool because that was my biggest nitpick is that they just go like that and the transport activates in the show. Whereas in the toy you had to hold it down. And this button doesn't do anything else besides activate that anyway. So I guess it's just because they don't want the sound to activate if it just gets randomly tapped if a kid's wearing it. But I still wish it activated just a little bit quicker, but I'm glad that they did fix that. So, do I recommend it? Only if you really like the color scheme. If you don't have the original Transpod, I'd recommend picking it up, just because I do like the color scheme more than the original. But it's still not really that great of a toy. It's got weird sounds in it, and it just doesn't really do much. So if you can get it really cheap, I recommend it, but otherwise it's probably a pretty easy pass if you can do without the transport. Really hard for me to say, apparently. Sound in your repertoire of roleplay weapons. So take that as you will, and you can check out shukinshobi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls, and of course check out Riders, Rangers, and Rambles.com for your latest toku news in the craziest way possible. So take care and have a great one. Bye.